good. About 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours after the accident. 37 more miles to go. I'm on a road like this, which is amazing. Not lots of cars, not lots of traffic, but a lot of uphills and like big uphills. So I'm using the motor more because I also don't want to end up having excruciating back pain over the next week and not be able to just enjoy the week that I'm staying in Novato, right? So this is where we are. If I can only change the battery once today, that would be great, because my wrists really hurt and changing the batteries require lifting up so many things and dealing with some bungee cords that are very tight, and I don't think actually my wrists can handle it. In fact, this morning I still had problem with my left wrist from the fall that I had on the bridge when I stayed in the ranch. So already my left wrist was hurting really bad. I fell. I'm lefty, so I put my left hand down first, and so that got another huge hit to my left wrist. Also my right wrist hit the ground when I was hitting the floor ground. So anyways, all of that combined, and I'm still doing this though, right? I mean, no giving up and counting the blessings, like no cars hit me, that my gear is stuck as opposed to be released and entirely not be able to use the gears at all. At least I have one gear, and a good one, like the 5th gear is a good one to get stuck at, and still my brakes work, and no broken spokes or anything like that. So counting my blessings while dealing with pain and riding. Heading back again to another uphill, so I gotta go and put my heart into this. Oh, okay, bye. Look at these beautiful views around me. It's a beautiful day, and I'm perfectly managing it. No pain, no nothing at this point, whether it's from the painkillers or just don't have pain, doesn't matter. I'm doing really well, and I'm very enjoying the view, and I'm getting an extremely amazing range from my battery today based on all the changes that I made on day 19 to the battery, and I'm very impressed. I might be able to do the century ride with my batteries. Well, the century ride is going to be in 15 days from today if I decide to do it. But anyways, that's exciting to be able to do a century ride. Never imagined that I could do a century ride. One of the things that in many of my videos I mentioned is that I try to keep the bike off in uphills. I'm at the end of an uphill right now, and if you look at here on my screen, you see that the bike is off. As you see that zero means that the bike is off, and it's not halting at all. And that's the speed in kilometers. So the reason I do that, number one, is because Obviously I want to exercise, but that's also again why in some of the videos I say riding a regular bike, if you can deal at emergency situations with a regular bike, it's easier, because obviously if your bike is off, you're just carrying extra 70-80 pounds, maybe even more, on your bike, because you are carrying the batteries and the bike itself is heavier. And that's exactly why, if in any shape or form you can ride a regular bike for long distance trips, definitely try to ride a regular bike as opposed to an e-bike, unless your emergency requires e-bike situation like mine. But definitely having an e-bike complicates your accommodation planning, complicates many things. Your other option is to get a regular really good bike, convert it to an e-bike with a front tire motor and some batteries in front, so you keep the front derailleur and you keep the back derailleur. Yes, your front of the bike will be heavier, but you're not mountain biking, you're long distance biking. And that way you have a really good bike, and most of the times if you have it off, you don't need to charge it every night, and that will give you a better machine for long distance biking. Most likely that's gonna be my plan for my next bike. I'm not sure yet about the conversion in the front tire, because I like to get a mid tire or like mid-train or rear hub. But again, the problem is if I need to change the gears and put bad gears on the bike, that would decrease my interest in that conversion. So I still need to do more research. But I want to keep the front derailleur and rear derailleur, so I have a great bike, and then add some motor power to it for my emergency situations. Anyways, that's that. I'm still continuing on the uphill and talking here, and still obviously my gear mechanism is broken, so I'm stuck in the 5th gear. But as I said, it's a great gear to be stuck at, because I can use it for some uphills, I can use it for downhills, and yeah, probably any gear I wanted to be stuck at would be the 5th gear. So I'm glad, really glad that that's the situation. Back again to the road. Something very interesting is happening. It seems that I am breaking the record of using my battery. Actually, I've already broken the record of using my battery, but it seems like I may actually set a really good record. So my total pass today was 56 miles. I'm still on the first battery that I started, and on the first battery I come 39 miles. Now some parts the battery was off, some parts I was using the motor full power. As you saw, there were some uphills that I had to use the battery full power, especially now that I have one gear only. And there were some parts that I use the battery normal, and well, that's kind of normal what I do. Like sometimes I have it off, sometimes I have it on, all those things. And today, anyways, I'm at 39 miles. Normally I would be at 28 miles. But I think all of this happened after I changed the program on my controller. So let's see if we can make the entire 56 miles on one battery. Do you think I can do that? That would be phenomenal, because my hand hurts, my wrists hurt, and changing the battery requires me to use the wrists. If I can just skip changing the battery, that would be phenomenal. like I'll go back to riding again. On the road I see a lot of vultures like that, like this one, like these guys, and they're just all around the roadkill, which looks like a deer, having lunch. So I've seen a lot of vultures, and you know, honestly, great that vultures exist in the nature. Otherwise, all these roads and nature would be full of dead animals that kind of need to be cleaned. Every time you pass this area, you feel like the smell of all these dead animals. I'm really tired today, obviously, after all that happened, but so far I got about 43 miles out of one battery. I don't think though I'll be able to finish this ride with this battery. I think this battery is gonna finish in the next mile or two. Even if I got 43 to 44, 45 miles from one battery, that's huge improvement comparing to the 28 or 22. So that's kind of reassuring. Although I remember today I had only 1500 feet up and 1600 feet down, and many days that I get 28 miles from the battery I have like 4,000 foot up and 4,000 foot down. Not that all of it is on one battery, but like probably half of it happens in 2 hours that I'm riding with that one battery. So it's not just the mileage, as I mentioned earlier in the video. It's the mileage, it's the elevation, it's how much you are pedaling, how much weight you're carrying, and lots of other things. Okay, I'll go back to riding this uphill. Lots of vultures. Something that is very noticeable for me is how yellow it is comparing to the path that I've come so far. You clearly see that the nature is very different. I think this area has a drought for the past many years as well, but you can clearly see the difference in the colors. I'm on this road which had a sign that said bikes may use the food lane. I'm sure we will, but I hope that cars are going slow, because definitely they would hit us, or me, for that matter. Horses! Back on the road. Truth, 45 miles on one battery, and I have only 11 miles left to start with. 56 miles, so that's 45 miles on one battery, and I'm just gonna park in a corner. Actually, still the battery is working, so you see in program 2 still working, but if I want to use the full throttle, it's gonna shut down. So that's pretty much that for this battery. Now I have to change, but then when I change, I only have 11 miles for this battery, the new one, to go, which means, well, I can go faster if I want, but not a lot faster, because I don't have gears to support it, right? Because when I go faster, then I have to be able to pedal faster, and I can't on 5, on the gear 5 that I have. So then I may do throttle only and do 20 miles per hour from here to my destination. I think throttle only I'll be able to do about 14 miles, and I have only 11 miles to go, so I may be lazy and do this. Oh, something else. I also have a bone to pick with Apple Watch. For whatever reason, Apple Watch does not, I don't think it calculates the calories of cyclists properly. I've been on the road for 4.5 hours, and practically for the majority of the times my motor was off. Practically it was off for at least 3 hours of it, maybe for about 2 hours of it, at least it was off. And my watch has only calculated 64 minutes of exercise. So I noticed that some days I'm just sitting around and eating chips, and the watch calculates like 9 minutes of exercise. So I mean, if you're calculating eating chips and watching Netflix 9 minutes of exercise, you gotta give better credit for biking. So I don't know actually why that is. There are apps that I can use to tell the Apple Watch that I'm exercising, but I was hoping that the sensors can also be smart enough to understand. I mean, like they are, but they calculate only like 64 minutes out of 4.5 hours right now. So it is what it is. But look at the view. So I have a problem. My wrists hurt so much that I can't open these two bungee cords to be able to take my battery and replace it. I mean, I probably will at the end, but it hurts like hell. Back again. Okay, just changed the battery, but I noticed that my right wrist is swelling. So it can be just from the pressure, or something can be wrong with it, but I don't see any bruises, and if I don't see any bruise, then it's nothing. It's just from the hit, the pressure. So I'm getting back again on the bike, but riding faster. I'm just gonna put it on program 4, which gives me a lot of power. I'm just gonna bike as fast as I can. Have another 10 miles to go. So first battery, 46 miles by the end when I stopped and recorded that video and stopped. Then it was 46 miles. Not bad for one battery. Very good. Anyways, back again to bike. Only 2 miles away from my destination. That's 101, and there's a little path here that is going alongside of 101. It was interesting because this is the first part that I see. It had a sign that there was no bicycles allowed on the highway, and I mean, this exists right by the highway, so that kind of makes sense. But that was interesting that there was a sign that said no bicycles around on the highway. And my wrist is doing okay. I can hold as much as the weight of the camera comfortably, but definitely can't put more pressure on it. So as soon as I check in right now, I'm gonna take the bike inside the room and then try to find the CVS and get some braces for wrists and other things. Just give me a sec. Okay. Sorry. Had to pass a little place, and that's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna get something for my hand from CVS or somewhere, and then get the dinner, take a warm shower, and rest. Obviously, every day of this trip has been an interesting day and a challenge, but today was physically painful, and my painkillers are wearing off, so I'm actually feeling the pain now in my hand, and so that's definitely is becoming more and more apparent that I need the painkillers and something to protect the hand. Back again on the road. Only a minute away from my destination. So today we got to our destination as well, and I'm very glad. I mean, I experienced some new stuff, falling down, riding the bike with only one gear, breaking the record of battery use with 45 miles, which is very impressive and very important, considering that I may have a century ride coming up, and also riding the bike with a hurt hand. So this is my hotel. I'm going up to check in. Oh shoot. Funny enough, this uphill here for getting inside the hotel was actually tough. I needed to change the gear, which I can't. So going into the hotel, checking in, and I'll stay here for a whole week, record the Course Creation Summit. And I mean, this is also a good thing that I need to fix the bike when I'm in this area, because there was no bike shop for a very, very long way in many places that I was. But there is going to be bike shop here in Novato, or if not right here, I'm sure there is going to be some stuff in San Francisco. Just checked into the hotel, and usually when I check into a hotel and I'm planning to record content during the time that I'm staying in the hotel, which this is one of those hotels, when I'm booking those hotels, I always make sure that the hotel looks good, because it's going to be on videos and other things, and it's just kind of like a studio for me. And this room looked really good online and also in person, so I put the bike here just because I had to. I can actually put it in the balcony, but anyways. And this is the rest of the room. And one of the things that I do in a situation like this, obviously your natural instinct is that this would be a great place for putting stuff, right? Except that it might not be, because it has a backlight, so that may look dark. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check this, because this is the most obvious kind of setting, see if it works. But what I like is actually having this behind me, so having like a view like this. And so for that I need to change the direction of this table. I'll see if the table can be changed. If the table can be changed, we're gonna take the table, turn it around, put it here, put the chair there, and then we have a studio that looks pretty nice. The other thing is that putting the chair here and then putting the stuff on the bed. You see, people don't know where the camera is. It is right, so people will see that, and then I can put my face like here, and then have some good looking logos or something on that TV. So there are many different ways of doing this. And I just wanted to share this with you because this is also part of my life, right? Because I record content and create courses and summits and all the other things, and when people see the biking, I'm not just biking, I also have a business and life to live. So anyway, so just wanted to share this a little bit with you. Probably I'll talk more about these things on outside this playlist, but same on the same YouTube channel. Again, thank you very much for riding with me today, and look forward to seeing you again on the road, and also on other videos on the channel. Take care and bye bye.